Okay, nice. So, see, first we will talk little bit about what we will be discussing in today's session. So today we will talk about this SAP as a career option. What,
Mm-hmm.
like how it is, and what will be the future in working in SAP or in the ERP area. Then I will introduce you to the ERP. What is the ERP, or how it actually conceptualized, and then what is the need of ERP and what is the future scope in overall ERP industry. And in this ERP industry, where does the SAP stands and what is the future of SAP and how it is evolving and how can it help you in your career. Okay. And then we will talk
Okay.
about the SAP FICO module, FICO module. What is in the FICO module? What are the sub modules? What are the topics? What we need to study? What we are going to study? And then we will just touch upon the basic enterprise structure today, and we will wrap up the whole session, entire session. Okay.
Okay.
So if you look from the career point of view, okay, so I guess you are from the commerce background, right? So mostly the
Yes.
we SAP FICO module as a consultant career is suitable for the commerce background students. And as a commerce background students, what options we have once we do our graduation or post graduation, right? So we can either
Hmm.
go for MBA or CA. We can go for we can do work of the accountant. We can be a tax consultant. We can do MBA and work in any company as a financial manager or financial assistant, right? Then you
Yes.
also have the option for investment banker. Then you can go into some stock exchange or share market stuff. And then you will also have the option for ERP consultant. Okay. So this is the only way for from your commerce background you can go into the IT area or IT field. Okay.
Hmm.
So if you look at all of these options, the most lucrative option will come as a ERP consultant. Okay. Since
Hmm.
because it is coming into IT and most of the money is flowing there, right? So other
Yeah.
options, if you go for accountant, tax consultant, or anything else, the career is kind of stuck. You have to work on the same pay slab for years. There is no growth or not even better opportunities to go ahead, right? So
Yeah.
so basically, these are all the options that as a commerce student anyone can have and can select either of these one, right? And I think most best option is to go for as a ERP consultant, since we can do that now, and
Hmm.
the pay slab also is much better than any other options available here. Okay,
Okay.
right. So basically, this is what this is something that I would like. I personally have done before starting my SAP career, and I would also suggest others to do whenever you are for choosing your career right after graduation, or whenever you finish your studies and you say like, let's get into the corporate world, or let's start something, right? So
Hmm.
first of all, like you should ask yourself what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses, what I would like to do. Okay. So some might have interest in accounting, and they might be interested in doing the accounting entries or solving the accounting problems. They would love to do work as an accountant or tax consultant, even if the pay is low. Okay, because that's what they like, right? If you want something challenging, every day, you don't want to do the same job. You want every day something new to happen, something new you work on every day. Then this SAP, I found it like very best option for those people who want to be like do challenging work and do new work every day, basically not a boring work every day, right? So
Yeah.
you can write down your expectations from your job, like whether you how much you want your work life balance to be, what salary you are expecting from your career, right? And based on that, you can decide what option you want to choose. Okay. So you can then research about the job which can suit for your expectation and your strengths, right? And then
Yes.
at the final stage, you must do the test of market. Okay, this is like important thing you have to do before starting your career in any of the area. You should look for, is there a job available in that area? Okay, because at the end that's what matter, right?
Yeah.
So before, like, even if now you have decided to be a ERP consultant or be a SAP consultant, FICO consultant, then you should know that whether there are enough jobs available in the market as a fresher, and how hard it is to get a job. You can just quickly go and look on these platforms like LinkedIn, Naukri.com, and these stuffs, like how many jobs are, uh, how many openings are there for SAP fresher, and how it is for fresher consultants and fresher associates, right? Because this is where, because mostly what people do in, you can take example of anything, right? Basically people just heard some skill, some area from somewhere, and they just do the that course or that learn that thing, and then later on just find out that there is not enough openings or enough candidates,
For.
companies are looking for that skill, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is like important thing that everyone should first test out the market, whether there is really this much requirement in this market for this skill. If there is, then we should go. And I think for SAP FICO, there is a requirement. Okay, so there is no doubt in what
Even for
in
the freshers, it is.
yeah, even for the freshers, there is a requirement. I see the post every day. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, so just like this in SAP, as a SAP FICO consultant, you have to work every day. You will face new challenges. Every day you will face new issues. You have to analyze those issues. You have to resolve those issues. So uh, your life will be basically, there will be ups and downs in SAP FICO consulting area. It will not be every day you are doing the same jobs. Every day you are coming and posting some set of same entries and going home. It will be new for you to every day. It will be enjoying basically. Okay, so that's what I feel about working all these years as a SAP consultant. Okay, so this is just, I want to let you know how it will be for you in coming days or years. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that's all about the career thing. So now coming to the ERP world. Okay, so uh, there is like very interesting story behind uh, uh, starting of the SAP and starting of this ERP also. So ERP stand for Enterprise Resource Planning. Okay, which basically means, enterprise means companies. Okay, and whatever the company is, how they plan their resources. Resources could be their financial resources, their human resources, their inventory as a resource, their reporting, their sales, marketing. So all these area, how company handles. Okay, and to handle these areas, whatever systems they have built or they are using is called as a ERP. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's take an example of Amazon. Okay, so basically Amazon is one enterprise, and to manage their enterprise activities, whether it is human resource related or financial accounting related, generating accounting related reports and all, whatever system, application or software they are using, it could be SAP, it could be Microsoft, Oracle, it could be Dynamics, anything they are using is called as a ERP software or as a ERP basically. Okay,
Okay.
so before SAP, so SAP was like introduced on in 1972, and before SAP Enterprise, this ERP softwares are like known for their individual specifications. Okay, so here in this right side chart you can see. uh, in the ERP, all the rounded ways, you can see different products, right? Like production, human resource, planning, inventory management. So for each of these areas, there were different softwares and different ERPs, and mostly big companies would have created their own software to manage these areas separately. Okay, but what SAP did is that SAP came and SAP integrated all of these areas. Okay, so what happened? I will give you one example. Let's say if in Amazon, if they buy some goods from vendor to sell on their store, so what will happen? They will raise one purchase order to their vendors, and their vendor will send them some goods as return of uh, as against that purchase order. So when Amazon will receive goods in their store, the
Hmm.
the purchasing department will do one entry in their system saying that we have received the goods and our goods stock has raised from 0 to 100. Okay, so
Hmm.
every day they will receive such like hundreds of goods from different their vendors. Okay, and they will book those all those entries in their system, and at the end of the day they will print out all the entries and they will give it to finance department, and they will say today we received these many goods from these many vendors. You please book the invoice and make their payment. Okay,
Okay.
so then at the end of the day finance department has to record those transactions separately in their books of account. They have to create accounting entry and say that we received this much amount of goods from XYZ vendor, so we are payable to that vendor by XYZ amount. So again they have to book all those entries separately, one by one for each vendors. Okay, so this is
Yeah.
how ERPs were before SAP. Okay, so purchasing department will do their separate entries, financial department will do their separate entries, and at the end of period or end of month, they have to merge. They have to like uh, consolidate both of the reports and reconcile the reports. Like whether my purchasing department is matching with finance department is matching with sales department and everything. So these were this is how the ERP world used to operate before SAP. Then when SAP came, the SAP's idea was that to integrate all of these different part of business into a single thing. Okay, so what
Hmm.
SAP did, what started happening in SAP, when you will post a goods receipt, when purchasing guy will post a goods receipt saying that I received the goods from this XYZ vendor, in the back end, one accounting entry will be automatically posted right on that point. Okay, the
Okay.
entry will be posted that we received goods from this XYZ vendor and we should pay this XYZ vendor. So that what happened
Hmm.
now, finance department don't have to post separate record, the both record are attached to each other. Okay, and they
Yeah.
don't have to reconcile each other every month end, because yeah, system itself is doing that work, right? Because system is posting the transaction right on the time. There is not even a minute or hour delay in the transaction. So finance team can log in into their system and check the financial reports, live financial reports. They don't have to wait for the day to be end and all the entries get posted, right? So basically
Yes.
this is what SAP did. SAP integrated all of these different modules to each other. So whenever sales guy will post any sales entry, backend accounting entry will be automatically posted. Whenever accounting guy will make a payment, the purchasing guy will automatically come to know that this vendor is paid off. So so this is what SAP did, and this is why SAP succeeded. Okay, no other software was able to do this thing that SAP did, and because of this, like hundreds of hours of work was saved for many big companies. Okay, and that's why when SAP got launched, immediately SAP started gaining share and SAP became the world's biggest ERP provider. So It said like that 98% of the money in the whole world will flow from the SAP. So that's how big SAP became. All the major companies uses the SAP. Generally, if we 71% of the ERP market share is with SAP, and other is with Oracle, Salesforce, Microsoft Dynamic, and IFS, and all others. All of these players are there. So this is what the story of ERP and how SAP got into the business. Okay. So let's have a look at this job chain in the ERP world or in a company. Okay. So there will be one company. Okay. We are taking example. We are talking about Amazon. First of all, you are clear with this thing, right? What is ERP and basically
Yeah.
what I just explained. You understood, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. So about the job chain now. So so let we are talking about we are taking one Amazon example, right? So Amazon is there.
Mm.
So there will be if they might be using their ERP software as a Tally, SAP or Excel or banking apps, or they will not have one basically one ERP. They will have tens of ERP for different purposes. Okay.
Mm.
So the so in the company there will be employees who will be using that software, okay, to book the daily entries and to we just now take an example of posting goods receipt or goods order or purchase order, or if company needs any goods they will book a one purchase order into the ERP, right? So to do
Mm.
that those day to day activities, there will be employees sitting in the company and doing those stuff, okay. Basically all the day-to-day activities, those employees will known as a end user or the end user of the ERP software or the application whoever will be using. Okay, so this is what one type of job that people can do in the ERP, and other one is as a ERP consultant to support those end users. Okay, so our job is like we are the ERP consultants and we will be supporting the end users. Okay. So
Okay.
just now we talked about this. Like if some, let's say the Amazon is a company and their office is in New York, and in New York office, let's say 10 employees they have in the purchasing department, where they will be collecting requirements from the employees for any purchase orders, and they will be raising purchase order, they will be posting the goods receipt, and they will do their all day to day works that needs to run the Amazon. But in their day to day job, whenever they will face any issue while using the ERP software, while using the SAP software, they will reach out to ERP consultants. Those will be us. They will be sending us the
Mm.
issues saying that we are facing this XYZ issue in system. Please help, right?
Mm.
And so that's where our job comes. So we are the SAP consultants.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, when you talk about any ERP, there will be two kinds of things you can do. You can work as a end user in any organization, and you can work as a consultant in the ERP area. Okay, so end user will
Mm.
basically be nothing if it takes simple example of Tally. Then accountant who use Tally and post the entries, we can call them a end user of Tally. Okay,
Okay.
so this is how the end user and consultants got differentiated in this thing. Now let's talk about little bit about the history of SAP and how uh, SAP got started and everything. Okay. So basically, as I said,
Yeah.
SAP was started in 1972 and it was started by the five ex-IBM employees. So these five people in the picture basically was working in the IBM and they were working in the ERP area only. So IBM was known to be the leader of ERP, and IBM used to create different ERPs based on the industry needs. So before, what used to happen, let's say Walmart is one company. Okay, so Walmart will go to IBM and say them that we are facing this problems, like we have to book daily thousands of sales bills, and our system is and we want to do certain kind of reporting on those sales order, and we want to monitor how the payment we are receiving from the customers and all those things. So IBM will create one separate software for Walmart, and they will give it to them as a ERP to use. So this is how it was before SAP. And these people were actually working in IBM doing those kind of things. Then when they decided to start a SAP or create their own ERP software, they left the IBM and they founded the SAP. Okay, these five people, basically all of them are developers, and they wrote the whole code of SAP and they created a software. Okay, and like I said, what differentiated SAP from the rest of the ERP world or rest of the ERPs is their integration between the different modules. So this is how then in 1972 they founded it, and maybe at the end of 1972 they launched their first version of SAP R1. They called it as a SAP R1. On the right hand side that chart you can see, on the
Yeah.
1972 they launched SAP R1. So SAP R1 was basically known for only these things. It is like R1 is a kind of technical concept where they are saying it as just because it was working on the mainframe data system, it was not having its own different layer or architects. That's why they called it as R1. But it's kind of technical thing. You can just know that first launch was of SAP was SAP R1. Then they did some database changes, and just because uh, I will just try to explain you in some simple terms. uh, in SAP R1 was running on the mainframe data set or data system. Okay, and mainframe system is kind of a system which is built to handle the very large number of data processes. Okay, let's say like crores of invoices if you have to process daily, then companies will use a mainframe system. And SAP was built to be run on the mainframe systems in R1. Okay, so means it was basically built for only for big organizations. Small organizations couldn't afford the mainframe system, and so that they couldn't even afford the SAP. So that's what they corrected in their R2 release. They made SAP to be run on the servers. So now servers are compared to mainframes are smaller and even accessible for the small companies, small to medium companies. Small to medium companies can have their own servers and run SAP on that. So in 1972 they released their R2 version. So in the R2 version it was just a database level change, and not that much change in the from the point of view of modules or from the user point of view, right? So from R2 to R1 to R2 release is just a technical change, you can say. And then in R3 they launched lot of different modules. Okay, so basically before SAP just known for the financial accounting system. Okay, so majorly they were just doing the finance work, and here and there they are doing some part of purchasing department and some part of sales department. But in R3 they launch different set of modules. Like right now you hear about SAP FICO module, SAP SD module, SAP MM module, PP module. So most of these modules were launched in their R3 release, which is 1992. When they were launched in R3 module, then SAP started picking up uh, the growth, and a lot of companies started using it because they included most of like production planning module. So any company who produces goods, for them SAP was the best solution available there, right? Then in 1999 they introduced my SAP, and 2004 they introduced SAP as a ERP. So basically these two release also was not that much change, just they change in their structure or in their solutions. Before they were selling the separate modules for separate cost, and in SAP ERP they just said that if you have to buy SAP, this is our bundle of solution, you have to buy all these modules like finance, sales, PP, all these. Before that it was like if you want to take buy SAP FICO module only, you will have to pay this much cost and buy SAP FICO. So they just improved their product bundles in this 1999 and 2004 release.
Okay.
So like major change was in R3. Okay, since they released SAP R1, in R3 only they had a major change, and then now in 2020 2050, SAP S4 HANA is their major change. Okay, in S4 HANA a lot of things they have changed. They have changed database, and even from the end user point of view they launched Fiori and all these stuffs and these things. Okay, so you just know this, nobody will ask you these things in even in interview or even in your day-to-day work also. It is not that much
Hmm.
of helpful, but just for your knowledge I explained you this, that this is how the journey of SAP was, and now SAP is at S4 HANA release. And since even now also not lot of companies have been shifted from S4 HANA ECC to S4 HANA, but SAP has given the deadline of 2030. By that, they have asked everyone to move to S/4HANA, and they are not going to support the ECC. So that's how the current state of the SAP is.
Okay.
Right. Uh, so it's been more than 2 decades SAP consultancy, known as highly valued and highly paid skill. For 3.5 lakh companies use SAP software. Okay, so uh, there are a lot of people, lot of companies who use this SAP products, and hence even for there is a high demand for the SAP consultants. So this that was about the SAP history. And when we come about the talk about, if we have to talk about okay, this meeting is going to end, about the SAP modules. So you might have heard many of these modules, but majorly these are the modules used by most of the organizations. Okay, so the FI finance is a separate module, CO controlling is a separate module, SD sales
Hmm.
distribution is separate, material management, production planning, plant maintenance is a separate, quality management is separate, project system is separate, HR as a human resource is separate. So, if how many modules of this you are aware of? Like, I guess you must be knowing FICO, but SD sales and distribution will be handling the sales part, creating like sales order, sales invoice, billing, credit management area, all those stuff.
I am
Material,
aware about material management because my dad work in that, uses that. So,
okay, material management module in SAP only.
yeah.
Okay, good, nice, nice. So in material management, they will be handling the inventories, purchasing part, posting goods received, invoice received, purchase orders. Then in production planning is used for the production where is used. So now this mostly FICO and module will be used by all the companies. Okay, but the production planning module or the sales and distribution is also will be used, because any company you take, they have to do the financial accounting activities, they have to sell their product, and they have to purchase some kind of raw material or goods. So these four
Yeah.
modules are must. Okay, but when we talk about production planning, So now let's take an example of Amazon, right? Amazon don't
Hmm.
produces anything, right? They don't produce anything. They don't do production. They just buy from the vendor and list it on their website and sell it, right? So when Amazon has
Yeah.
to use SAP, they will not use production planning department. Even
Hmm.
they will not have to use this plant maintenance because they don't have plants since they don't have the production units. Quality management they might use to check the quality of the goods and maintain the product expiry thing and validity thing and all those things. PS module is to plan the project, so PS module is also not useful for the Amazon, right? PS module is
Hmm.
for someone who is into real estate area, like they are continuously building big things and they want to consider each of their product as a project. So PS module will be used by very few handful of the people. Human resources must, but for HR department they use different ERPs. Like SAP is not the that good ERP when it comes to human resource. Okay,
Okay.
so the point of this is like, so our, yeah, finance module is like is best module to be in. Okay, because finance is must for every company. So no matter
Hmm.
what company in the world, they have to do finances. And when it comes to SAP, they have to be in FICO area. So they have to have the FICO consultant, FICO end users. And SAP finance module is very strong module compared to any other ERP.
Hmm.
So FICO, sales and distribution, material management. These three four modules are like mostly used in the many of the companies, and it has usually high requirement than any other module. Okay,
Okay.
so this is about the modules. Now, if we go deeper into our FICO modules, so in FICO, finance is a separate and CO as a controlling is a separate module. Okay, in finance what we have, so first let's talk about why we have finance and why we have control CO controlling module. Okay, so finance module will be used for the external requirements for preparing the balance sheet, income statement, cash flow statement, profit and loss statement. So why we are calling it as external requirement? Because these are required by the government. Okay,
Okay.
wait, I guess connect. Notify me after 5 minutes. Okay. I think this meeting will end in 5. We will join again using the same link. Okay. If it got ended.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so what happens if you go into any country and any part of the world and create, if you have your own a company in any country, the any country's government will ask you to at the year end to submit the financial statements. They will ask you for your balance sheet, they will ask you for your profit and loss statement, cash flow statement, all of these things, right? And the
Yes.
finance module will help companies doing that. Okay, so finance module is basically just to do, the main purpose of finance module is to prepare the financial reports, to prepare the balance sheet, to prepare the profit and loss statement. So whatever we will learn during this course will help us in the end preparing the financial statement. Our end goal is to prepare a financial statement, prepare a balance sheet, prepare a profit and loss statement. Okay, so that's why it is called as external requirement, because companies would not like to have the financial reports created as per the government rules and regulation. Okay, so these
Hmm.
financial reports companies will create just for the sake of submitting it to the government and paying tax on them. Okay,
Hmm.
so like government ask us to depreciate our building or furniture at the rate of 15% per annum. Okay, but
Yeah.
actually our building will not be depreciating 15% every year, or our furniture will not be depreciating 10% per year, right? So from real point of view those things don't make much sense, right? Based on
Hmm.
government reports our our profit will come different, because of all those different rules government has put on us. So
Hmm.
that's why we have a separate module called controlling, okay, CO. And CO module helps in our internal requirements. So what CO module will do? CO module will help the management of company having the reports as per their requirement. So whatever they want to see or they want to know. So management will be interested in knowing the how much profit we are earning per region or per district or per country, how much profit we are earning by who is our top 10 customer, who is our top 10 vendor, how we can diversify them. Our management will be more interested in knowing how much cost we are spending to build this product and can we reduce that cost and how much our profit margin is, right? So all these kind of
Hmm.
reports will be prepared in the controlling area, and these are known as the internal requirements because this is what company wants to know, and that's why it is a internal. So controlling module will help us creating a internal reports, and finance module will help us creating the external reports. Okay, which is a financial statement. So finance FI module will help us in creating a financial statements external, which is a external requirement.
Hmm.
These two things are clear now.
Yes.
And this you should know, because in even in interviews also this thing might be asked, like what is why we have FI or CO, or what is FI CO module, or what is finance module. Then you can say them that finance module is finance module is for the external requirements to prepare the financial statements like balance sheet, profit and loss statement, which we will be submitting to the government. And controlling module is for the internal requirements to prepare the internal reports that management want to see, and that is for the internal purpose of the company, that will not go out of the company. Okay, so
Hmm.
these are kind of two basic definition for these two things. Then in a finance module we have a separate sub modules. Okay, so the core module of finance is general ledger accounting. Okay, so GL module is the core of our finance area. So all other modules will be integrated to the GL module. Uh, so basically, ledger module will help us preparing the balance sheet and preparing the profit and loss statement and all those reports. Then next is accounts payable module. So accounts payable module is nothing but a module which will be talking about the accounts payable. So accounts payable module will be linked with the module. Okay, material management module. So as the name suggests us, accounts payable, what it will do, it is for the basically making payments of the vendors or booking the vendor invoices. Okay, uh, so the purchasing department will buy some goods from different vendors, and then it will be a responsibility of accounts payable team to make sure to book the invoices of those vendors and make payment to the against those invoices to the vendor. Okay, so that is what comes under accounts payable. Similar to accounts payable, we have account receivable, which is exactly opposite and which will be integrated to the sales module. So account receivable team's work is to collect payment from the customer, receive payment from the customers, and send them the bills of the sell goods sold. So sales team will do the purchase order, book the purchase order, ship the goods to the customer, and then the accounts receivable team will generate a sales invoice, give it to them, and collect the payment from them. Then they will do the aging of the payment and like which customer paying us the payment on time, which is not paying on the time, and all of these things will be taken care by the accounts payable team. Then comes bank accounting module. So bank accounting module is basically will be handling the bank related transactions and the cash related transactions. Okay, so the bank accounting team's work will be to or reconcile the bank statement with the payments that made in the system, or uh, bank about the or to handle the cash management module and generate the cash management reports, for so that management who is sitting in the company. If we took the example of large companies like Amazon or Facebook, they have like their branches of business in all over the countries, and all over the different regions of countries. So basically they will have hundreds and thousands of bank accounts created in different banks, right? So SAP will help them to consolidate all those bank balances and bank entries, bank transactions, and show us at the end of the day, or right now, how much bank balance we have in all of these different banks, and how much payment we are supposed to make in next 1 2 days, how much payment we are supposed to receive from customers in 1 2 days. Okay, so all these things will be taken care by bank accounting team. Then
Okay.
lastly, we have a asset accounting module, which will be helping us to manage our assets, right? If you take any company, they will have a certain assets, right? They will have
Yeah.
building, they will have car, they will have furniture, they will have different vehicles, trucks, machineries. So all these assets, uh, so all these assets they have to manage, right? As per government law, they have to book depreciation on those assets. They have to make the maintenance of that asset. They have to maybe scrap some of those assets when their life is expired. They have to buy new asset. So all these activities will be handled by the asset accounting module. So you are you clear with these different modules, and what kind of works been done in different modules?
Yeah.
You heard of these modules before? Like in finance, we have this different things.
Hmm.
O-
Yeah, I have heard about the payables and receivables.
Okay, okay, nice. So so basically, when now we will start, we will go into when we will go into SAP and start doing the configuration and preparing the system. We will be mentioning these modules, right? We will say we will now do the general ledger configuration. Then we will say we will do accounts payable, bank accounting, asset accounting. Okay, so we will learn each module one by one. Okay. And when you come to the controlling area, in controlling area you have the something called as cost element accounting, activity based accounting, cost center accounting, profit center accounting, product costing, profitability analysis. So when we will learn about the finance area, so during that time itself, we will start touching up on this controlling module, different modules as well. Okay. So when we will
Okay.
be doing the general ledger accounting, we will talk about the cost element accounting. What happened? Hello,
Hello.
you can still see my PPT, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. Uh, just in my system something happened. So when we will do the general ledger accounting, we will talk about cost center accounting, profit center accounting, right? When we will be doing bank accounting, we will talk about internal orders. When we will doing asset accounting, we will talk about profitability analysis or product costing. So this controlling area we will touch up on based on how we are proceeding in the FI area.
Okay.
Okay. So as a last topic for today, we will discuss about enterprise structure. Okay, this is like we are talking now about our syllabus, and we are starting our syllabus. Okay, so in FICO, first thing we need to know is enterprise structure. Okay, so enterprise structure, as name suggests, it is kind of a, you first need to analyze the structure of your company. Okay, so every company will have a different structure, and that will be known that that to that we will call as enterprise structure. Okay, so uh, if we again take example of Amazon. So Amazon, we know that Amazon is a US based company, right? And Amazon have their uh, offices or their companies in different part of the world, right? Like in US itself, they will have they will have one organization. In UK, they will have one. In European countries, they will have. In Asian countries, they will have different things, right? So now it's up to Amazon how they want to create their enterprise structure, right? They will say that our group company is a Amazon INC US based, right? So whatever the company they have in US, they will say this is our main company and this is our group company, and everything in the rest of world will be a part of our group company. Okay, so then it will be like US Amazon is will be our group company, and then under US Amazon we will have the Amazon India, we will have the Amazon UK, Amazon maybe China, or uh, even in Latin America they will have different countries, right? So in SAP, then in SAP you have to analyze their structure, enterprise structure, and then make the setup in SAP as per their enterprise structure. So in SAP, we will say we will create one group company saying that XYZ or Amazon INC US is our group company. And then under that group company, we will create a separate different company codes. For each country, we will have one company code. Okay. So what this will do in SAP, you will have, let's say Amazon is present right now is present in 80 countries of the world. So you will have the 80 company codes in the SAP and one group company code which will be linked to all of these 80 company codes. Okay. So Amazon, this how this will help Amazon is like at any point of time Amazon can create their profit and loss statement or financial statement on each company code level for each country. And since all of these company code are assigned to one group company, so they can also create one group report for all of these company codes and find out how much sales we made this quarter or this month, including all our 80 companies. Or the or they or if Amazon decides no, this is not how we want to do this, we want to have reporting uh, based on continents, like for Asia we will have a different one group company, for Europe we will have one group company, and for US we will have one group company. Then what you have to do, you have to basically create three group companies, and under that you have to create the different company codes based on the countries which are coming in Asia, countries which are coming in Europe, countries which are coming in US.
Okay.
So basically what I'm trying to explain here is that enterprise structure will be different for each company. Okay, you will be working, it is totally based on how their management decides to do the reporting and how to manage the entire company. So based on that you will create one group company, then you will create a different other company codes. Under that company code you will have a different plants, you will have a different sales organizations. So all of these stuffs we will learn in our coming class, but right now I just want you to explain what is enterprise structure and how it is like defined. Basically, I wanted to give you an idea on this on the career in SAP, and what are the various options, what is the ERP, and how SAP as a ERP is, what are the competitors of SAP. So right now there are like Salesforce is like emerging competitor. Microsoft Dynamics is one. Oracle is like the second best ERP in the world after SAP. So, but even after all of these, SAP still have 70% around market
Largest
share.
market share.
Yeah, and in the rest 30%, all of these other ERP comes. IFS is also one of the known ERP. Then in SAP, there are like these many modules, and how our module is important, or how handful module is important, or mostly in demand, right? In our SAP FICO module, what are the sub modules, or what things we are going to learn, or what things we are going to study? That's what we saw, and we saw the enterprise structure, right? So so this so right now we are leaving with the enterprise structure, and